does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. We'll see what they'll do here as they're up against a 4th and inches. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They come out here in the I. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side, able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. One back is Lacey. He's going to get the football. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Richard Rodgers, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. And that one makes it 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return now, here's Keyshawn Martin. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They come up in an offset I. They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They try again with Lewis. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now Brady. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. A gain of 13 and also a first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good. And that was a nice play by the defense. And it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the middle, the center and the offensive guards. Formerly, they were just power players. Now they have to be light on their feet as well to keep up with the speed of the defensive players.
Gronkowski, the intended target. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Here's Brady to throw. He's got time. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Here we go on 4th down now with Brady. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. One back is Lacey. Rodgers now on front. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So 2nd and 10 here. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Tackle there by Clay Matthews. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. To throw, it's Brady. He's going to let this one go deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. On the return, it's high. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Packers get set to go. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
It's a gain of 24 that time. And the Packers are going to have a first down. Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Under pressure, they got him again. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Now this is incomplete. So, Charles, when we got a quick breather here, wanted to ask you, as we get to the end of preseason, cuts are happening fast.
Yeah.
These front offices, you've told me, they are watching closely to see if someone's cut, where can they add to their roster, right?
Exactly. It's similar to the draft, where they have a ready list of players that they aren't sure are going to get drafted, but they really liked and want to sign as a priority free agent. They do the same thing during this time of year. They sit in meetings. Different scouts are assigned to different teams, and they've compiled a list of players they think fit their team. And if they get cut by those other teams, they want to be able to pounce and go get that guy to add him to their roster once the cuts are done.
This is Lewis. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Brady to throw on 2nd down. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And, Charles, speaking of the 27-year-old Chris Hogan, you know, he signed the 3-year, $12 million deal as a free agent in the offseason. So far in the preseason, he's looking like quite a bargain.
No doubt about it. And there's something about when these guys get to New England, and even if you don't count on them being big-time threats, they often grow into that, don't they? They have a history and a tradition of that. Chris Hogan could be the latest because he's been awfully impressive this preseason.
Brady going to throw. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. This will be caught at about the 3. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this 2nd quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.